ever heard of a killer? I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
Somebody said, look at LeakYou video. What the fuck is LeakYou? Is it like a site? What's LeakYou? LeakYou. Is it a YouTube channel? Oh, shit. Oh, all right, bet. Here we go.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are having a fantastic week. Coming through because I want to talk about a mystery that has been ongoing for years, over a decade at this point. The case of missing MH-370. MH-370 disappeared over a decade ago. It has remained one of aviation's biggest mysteries. Essentially, a Malaysia Airlines flight that just completely vanished without any trace on where it went. Investigators still do not know exactly what happened to the plane and its 239 passengers. But Malaysia's government has said, in recent times that they would renew the hunt for MH-370, including even an American marine robotics company that pitched in an effort to try to find this missing plane. There was a massive, and I do mean massive, multinational search for MH-370 in the southern Indian Ocean, where the jet is believed to have crashed, but nothing has ever really been concretely found apart from some small fragments that did later wash ashore. But how do we know for sure that these small fragments came from MH-370? Now, this Boeing 777 plane completely disappeared from air control radar about 39 minutes after leaving Kuala Lumpur en route to Beijing, China on March 8, 2014. The pilot sent a radio call to Kuala Lumpur before leaving Malaysia, or saying the last words, I should say, of "Good night, Malaysian 370." But the pilot did not check back in with air traffic controllers in Ho Chi Minh City when the plane actually was to cross into Vietnam airspace. A few minutes after it allegedly crossed into Vietnam airspace, the plane's transponder shut down. And the transponder is a communication system that actually transmits the plane's location to air traffic control. Military radar saw the plane turn around to travel over the Andaman Sea before it vanished, and satellite data showed it continued to fly for hours, possibly until it ran out of fuel. And some believe that it crashed in a remote part of the southern Indian Ocean. But there's been a lot of theories, everything ranging from hijacking, loss of oxygen, to the cabin, power failure, suicide by pilot, but there was no distress call, no ransom demand, nor bad weather, or any evidence of any technical failures. It just poof, just disappeared. Even going to the authorities even went to the point of even investigating the crew on board that plane. But they did not rule out any potential unlawful, interference. There was no way they could even possibly rule that out. They still haven't even found the plane yet. Now, Malaysia's government said that someone intentionally severed communications with the ground and then completely diverted the plane. Now, again, there was 227 passengers. That included 5 children, 12 crew members. 12 crew members. Most of those that were on board MH-370 were from China, but there was also people from other countries, including the United States, Indonesia, France, and Russia. Passengers included two young Iranian men who used stolen passports to seek a new life in Europe. There was a group of Chinese calligraphy artists who were returning from an exhibition. 20 employees of U.S. tech firm Freescale Semiconductor. There was a stunt double for actor Jet Li on the plane. Families with young children, and even a Malaysian couple that was on a long-delayed honeymoon. Many families lost multiple members in this tragedy. There were dozens of ships, dozens of aircraft from various countries that searched for MH370, everywhere from Malaysia and Vietnam into the South China Sea, before moving into the Andaman Sea and the Indian Ocean. Australia, alongside Malaysia and China, led the largest and most expensive underwater search ever undertaken. They covered some 120,000 square kilometers, it's about 46,000 square miles, of seabed off Western Australia, using aircraft, vessels equipped to pick up sonar signals, and even robotic submarines. Search vessels detected ultrasonic signals that might have been from the plane's black box, and even shipwrecks that were believed to have been 19th century merchant vessels, but they never found the plane. In July 2015, a fragment that was confirmed to be a flaperon from Flight 370 was found on France's Reunion Island in the western Indian Ocean. That was the first hard evidence that MH370 ended its flight in the Indian Ocean. And there were also several more pieces of debris that were later washed ashore on the east coast of Africa. The search was suspended back in 2017. And there was, again, like a robotics company, a U.S. Marine robotics company named Ocean Infinity that picked up the search in January of 2018. They did it under a no-find, no-fee contract with Malaysia, focusing on an area north of the earlier search, but ended it a few months later without any success. Now, there's another theory that recently, in the last few years, came about. And it's a strange theory, but it is a theory nonetheless, with not only a potential piece of video that sort of backs this theory, there was also a news article written by ABC News back in 2014 regarding satellites spotting 3 orbs that were in the path of the Malaysia MH-370 airliner's flight path. Okay. Now, if you search now, 3 orbs, MH-370, you're going to find a lot of threads that say, oh, fake, faked video, blah, 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 blah. Well, I challenge many to prove that it's actually fake video. What video am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a piece of video that appears to show an airliner and it has been floating around, and it was directly, it was said, I want to say almost accused, but it was directly said that this was MH370 caught on film, on long distance photo, video, radar, that appeared to show 3 orbs flying around it, almost creating a wave of some type. And then the plane just completely disappears. Again, you'll find a lot of places or threads that says this is fake, but I challenge you to prove that it is. Note, this piece of video footage came out before the height of AI. And listen, everybody loves to say it's AI, blame the AI. If you have a good eye, and listen, I can use this word correctly, you can discern, okay, AI from the real thing. You got to use your discernment, if you get what I'm saying, right? You can tell the difference between AI and non-AI. There is a piece of video here I want to show you. Again, you'll see a plane. One is, we don't have a very good understanding or excuse of where these videos came from. And that's the mystery, sort of the mystery of it all. But look, in this video, you see 3 orbs that seem to circle around this plane. And then it's going to just poof, disappear. And notice in the heat signaled, I guess I could say heat signaled frame on the bottom, you actually see like a wave being created by these objects. Now watch this. The plane is just going to poof, disappear. The theory is called, teleportation. Did this plane somehow teleport to some sort of different reality, different dimension? Was there an abduction of someone on this plane? All 200 plus people on this plane. Was there someone on this plane that was wanted by some other being for some reason? Look at the waves that's being created, as if these orbs are eating up the gravity in front of them. I don't think these videos are fake. That's just my personal opinion. I think, in my personal opinion, I think there's somebody within upper echelons of certain governments, including the Chinese government, that may have something here that is just absolutely unexplainable. And then you get to thinking and wondering to yourself, well, how could planes even be tracked like this and filmed in this manner? Well, think about it. How many times have you all seen clips or even heard of incidents of airliners, commercial airliners, military jets that run into an unidentified object during their normal course of duty? And then you've got this. Listen to this. Now, I've heard that one of those videos was actually recorded by a satellite that was in circulation around the earth. But again, it's so mysterious. But listen, satellites back in 2014, this was an article posted by ABC News on March the 12th, 2014, titled, "Satellites Spot 3 Large Objects Near Malaysia Airliner's Flight Path for MH-370. And this is the article. Satellite images posted on a Chinese government website appear to show 3 unidentified floating objects in the waters between Malaysia and Vietnam near the flight path of the missing Malaysia Airlines plane. The blurry images, and listen, this is why this article is so interesting, because again, it was released in 2014. This video only just came out. This video did not come out it was way after 2014 when this video dropped. So listen to this. On this Chinese government website were images that showed 3 unidentified objects, right, in the flight path of this missing airliner. The blurry images were taken by Chinese satellites on Sunday and loaded today onto the Sastine website, which is operated by China's National Defense Science and Technology Ministry. It described one of the images as some debris in the area where the Malaysian Airlines passenger plane lost contact and was suspected to have crashed. It's not clear whether the objects will turn out to be related to the doomed flight of MH-370 or turn into another false lead that has plagued searchers since the plane disappeared with its 239 passengers 5 days ago. Are you listening? So this article came out 5 days after this incident, and there was already talk then, when this happened, that there was UFOs involved in the disappearance of MH-370. 5 days after it happened. And then these videos subsequently seemed to leak onto the internet several years after. The largest object measured 78 feet by 72 feet, while the smaller objects are 45 feet by 62 feet and 42 feet by 59 feet, according to the Chinese agency. These objects were detected in the South China Sea about halfway between Malaysia and Vietnam and east of the original route of the flight. The plane had left Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, en route to Beijing and was due to fly over Vietnam before it simply disappeared off the radar screen. The article goes on to say, earlier today, Malaysian officials released the last conversation heard between the Malaysian Airlines pilot before he vanished with his plane, and his words give no inkling of trouble or looming disaster. An air traffic controller told the pilot, "We have to hand you over to Ho Chi Minh City," a Malaysian Civil Air Department representative said today, referring to air traffic control in Vietnam. The pilot responded, All right, good night. Flight MH-370 never made contact with air traffic control in Ho Chi Minh City. Malaysian authorities revealed that exchange in a briefing for Chinese media, and the Chinese press relayed all of that information to ABC News. The conversation details emerged as officials announced that they were expanding the search back during that time to cover over 27,000 nautical miles. But don't you find that interesting? That 5 days after MH370 went missing, there was talk of 3 UFOs being in the path of this plane. And then several years later, these videos surface that were most likely recorded by spy satellites or by satellites, maybe even some secret satellites. Which makes me think, Emmanuel, hey there, makes me think, if they have this type of technology, surely there's other strange things that have been captured, right? It's almost as if, if I'm, when you're looking at this video, it's almost as if some wave was being created to, again, the word is teleport it into some other dimension. You can actually see, again, the waves that get created. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pause it here in a second. I mean, look, you can actually see it's as if the gravity gets eaten in front of the craft where it's going to fly. You can actually see these waves in the sky. Look at that. You can actually see it. And there's a great example. It looks like sound waves, doesn't it? Again, and it's so interesting that these photos and this, these particular photos that seem to show these 3 objects popped up in a Chinese government website. China didn't want to be blamed for this plane not showing up. Listen, Newsweek did a little investigation on these videos, right? I'm just looking at this Newsweek article. And they found that the original footage was linked. This original footage was actually linked to a video from May 2014, right? Which only makes the mystery deepen to me. Because again, MH370 disappeared in March of 2014. I don't necessarily believe that anyone has debunked it either. And it's highly likely that nobody will even take this ever take any of this video footage seriously in the investigation of MH370. this would be the first time ever in the history of the world that we know of in which a UFO or multiple UFOs somehow interfered in the operation of a commercial airliner and potentially, disappeared over 200 people. So I think that, although some would claim that they've debunked stuff, be very mindful that, there's always another side to the equation, right? So very interesting. And I thought that ABC, news article just makes the mystery deepen, right? If you want to do a little bit more research, just search like MH-370 ORBS, right? Or UFO, and you'll be able to find the ABC news article. Also, the article is titled Satellite Spot 3 Large Objects Near Malaysia Airliner Flight. And again, it was published on March 12th, 2014, directly talking about MH370 and the potential interference of an unidentified flying object in its path. Listen, before I get up out of here, folks, allow me to pay a few bills if you don't mind. Shout out to the LeakYou community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. I want to go ahead and drop off at this point, but I will be back tomorrow to talk about some more things. So just keep your notification bells on. I'm out of here, guys. I'll catch you all on the next live stream. Until next time.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart. Like really, really, really smart like I am.